Cejudo Yudong eye poke controversy sparks debate on UFC's handling of fouls. The controversial eye poke stoppage in the fight between Henry Cejudo and Song Yudong has reignited a debate within the UFC community over how fouls are handled inside the octagon. Cejudo, who was looking to snap a two-fight losing streak, suffered a double eye poke from Yudong during an exchange. Despite the clear foul, no point deduction was issued. Cejudo took the allotted 5-minute recovery period before attempting to continue, but by the fourth round, he admitted he could no longer see, forcing the fight to go to the scorecards. Yudong was awarded the technical decision victory, but the incident left many questioning whether the current rules on fouls are truly enforced or merely suggestions. Jim Miller proposes purse deductions for fouls. Adding his voice to the debate, UFC veteran Jim Miller took to X on February 24, offering a bold solution to discourage fouls in fights. "It's not the gloves, it's the culture," Miller wrote. "The shameless, win-at-all-costs mentality among fighters and the eye pokes are an accident and not a foul mindset most people seem to have." Miller believes that immediate penalties, not just point deductions but also financial repercussions, would significantly reduce the frequency of eye pokes. Penalize the foul immediately during the pause in action after confirming a strike or post was thrown with outstretched fingers. I believe not only a point deduction but also a purse deduction would have a rapid effect on how many pokes we see. Having competed in 45 UFC fights, spending over 7 hours inside the octagon and landing more than 1,200 significant strikes, Miller argues that his experience gives him credibility on the issue. "None of my strikes were thrown with extended fingers," he emphasized, highlighting that fighters can control their hand positioning. Michael Bisping demands harsher penalties for eye pokes. Echoing Miller's sentiments, former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping, who fought with one eye for a significant portion of his career, called for stricter enforcement of the rules following the Cejudo Yudong fight. "Number 1, I think we should have seen a point deduction," Bisping stated on his YouTube channel. "People need to know there's in consequence. Eye pokes are terrible, you know all about my history with the eyes. Eye pokes are bad. Had Yudong been deducted a point, the fight would have been scored a majority draw, potentially justifying a rematch." However, UFC CEO Dana White has no interest in booking Cejudo Yudong again. Many fighters and analysts believe referees should stop issuing multiple, final warnings, and instead immediately deduct points after a first offense, if true reform is to take place. With increasing calls for stricter enforcement, the debate over how the UFC handles fouls is far from over.